Ethan Miller hadn't planned on stopping at the rooftop restaurant that night. He was just a single dad finishing a 12-hour shift, grabbing a cup of coffee to stay awake long enough to help his 8-year-old daughter with her school project. But fate has a strange way of stepping in when least expected. As he walked past a dim corner of the rooftop, he noticed a woman sitting alone at a beautifully set table, candles lit, champagne on ice, and a bouquet of roses pushed to the side as if they suddenly didn't matter. Her mascara was slightly smudged, not from drama, just from holding back tears a little too long. Ethan hesitated. He didn't want to intrude. But kindness always outweighed awkwardness for him. He stepped closer. "Ma'am? Are you okay? Do you need anything?" The woman took a shaky breath. "I'm fine. Just stood up. 2 hours now." She tried to smile, but it cracked halfway. Ethan pulled out a chair slowly, making sure she didn't feel cornered. "You don't deserve to sit alone waiting for someone who clearly doesn't value you." His tone was gentle, the kind of warmth that didn't pity, it understood. Cloud with rain, a small kindness that changed everything. They talked. Not about work. Not about money. Not about the reason she was dressed in a stunning silk evening gown. They talked about life. About raising kids alone. About choosing kindness even when the world felt heavy. About the fear of not being enough. She introduced herself as Leah. Just Leah. He didn't press further. She already looked like she needed a moment to simply be human. Ethan told her funny stories about his daughter, Harper, how she stuck googly eyes on every fruit in the house so they wouldn't feel lonely. Leah laughed for the first time that night, a real laugh, the kind that lights up someone from the inside. Hours passed without either of them noticing. At one point, she sighed softly. "You know, people don't usually talk to me like this." "Like what?" "Like I'm a person." Ethan blinked. "Well, what else would you be?" Leah smiled, but there was sadness behind it. "That's the first time in a long time someone said that to me." Glowing star, the twist he never saw coming. When the restaurant staff subtly approached with a respectful nod, Ethan finally realized something felt unusual. The chef himself asked Leah if she wanted her usual dessert. The manager checked in twice. Even the pianist paused mid-song to greet her. Ethan frowned. "Are you someone important?" Leah's eyes flickered. "I run a company." "Oh," Ethan said casually. "Like a small business?" She laughed under her breath. "Something like that." He didn't make it weird. He didn't ask what she owned, what she earned, what brand she hid behind. He just said, "Well, you handled being stood up with a lot more grace than I would." She stared at him for a long moment. Nobody had ever admired her for how she handled hurt, only for how she handled power. Broken heart, the emotional climax. When the night wind grew colder, Ethan stood. "I should get home to Harper. She needs help making a solar system model for school. We have to figure out how to keep Saturn's rings from falling off." Leah chuckled. "She's lucky to have a dad like you." And then, with vulnerability she rarely allowed herself, she whispered, "Tonight, you saved me from feeling worthless." Ethan felt something tighten in his chest. "Hey. You're not worthless. Whoever didn't show up? That's their loss. Not yours." For a billionaire who had been worshipped, feared, envied, and analyzed her entire adult life, those simple words felt like the rarest form of wealth. Sincerity. She blinked away tears. "You have no idea who I am, do you?" "No," Ethan replied softly. "But I like who you are tonight. No title. No legacy. Just a woman whose heart needed a place to breathe." Rainbow, the uplifting ending. The next morning, Ethan woke up to find a black car parked outside his small apartment building. Leah stepped out, dressed in a crisp blazer, her confidence restored, but her smile softer than before. "I didn't get to thank you properly," she said. "You don't have to." "I know," she replied. "That's why I'm here." She handed him a small card. Leah Vanderson, founder and CEO, Vanderson Global Enterprises. Net worth in the billions. Ethan nearly dropped it. "I just wanted you to know," she continued, "that the woman you comforted last night, she's not used to being seen. Not like that. Not for who she really is." He scratched the back of his head. "Well, I'm glad I could help." Leah took a breath, gathering courage. "Would you, maybe like to have dinner again? This time, not because I was stood up. But because I want to see you." Ethan smiled, slow and warm. "I'd like that." As she stepped back into the car, Ethan realized something. Sometimes the greatest impact we make on someone's life happens in moments we don't even think matter. And sometimes a simple act of kindness is exactly what someone powerful needs to remember they're human too. Sparkle's final message. The world doesn't change through grand gestures, it changes through small acts of compassion that remind us we all deserve to be seen, valued, and understood. And sometimes, the person you comfort in a quiet moment turns out to be someone capable of changing your life in return.